Aw, yeah. So I'm sure many of you went to parties over this holiday season, and this is the party I went to. I got invited to the W Hotel for my guy Harry's Christmas party, his office Christmas party. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty gangster. This is what Harry normally looks like, and this is what Harry looked like that night. He was dressed up and looked pretty nice, but I guess to look really nice, you have to not smile and pretend like you were totally fucking disinterested. Which, it worked. His office rented out the Sky Lounge, which is really a beautiful place. I highly recommend anybody who has, I don't know, a ridiculous amount of cash to burn to rent this place out. But this is what it looked like tonight. There were a couple of bars set up on both sides, and really the whole place was circular, so if you just walked around, you'd run into food or beer. Speaking of food, what they had on the menu were these kind of weird, really gourmet versions of like home-style food, little burgers, grilled cheese and tomato, soup, onion rings, and just craziness. The other food they had was Chinese food, things like dumplings, skewered beef, wontons, things like that, and the weirdest fucking shrimp I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know about you, but this is what I'm used to seeing fucking shrimp as, and I guess that just wasn't fucking fancy enough because they unrolled the shrimp and like skewered it right up the back, like you put a pole in a polio patient's spine. That's exactly the way this thing was skewered. I had to wonder what terrible tragedy befell this chef that was cooking all this shit because, I mean, seriously, it seemed as if shrimp had come and taken him away from his house at a very young age to abuse him sexually because he seriously had a vendetta against these fucking things. Torture aside, the food was fucking delicious. So, it's a hoity-toity party, of course, so that means open fucking bar, and you know I'm raping that shit. I went up to get a vodka and Red Bull. I never drank that before. And all the vodka they're serving is either Belvedere or Grey Goose, so I'm in fucking heaven. Now, as I said, I've never had vodka and Red Bull before, which I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it did. So, I had my first vodka Red Bull at this party, and normally when I'm drinking, I'm fairly laid back, I'm like anybody else, but because I was on liquid crack, I was super fucking amped. A little bit unlike my fellow partygoers. Now, all these people work together, they see each other all the time, and yet when they're hanging out with each other in this casual setting, it was kind of awkward at first. People didn't really know what to say. Everyone was dressed up nice and behaving themselves, but it just kind of felt like all the nerds you've ever seen at a prom having their own prom. Yeah, imagine that. But just like the prom, add a little booze into that bitch, and hell yeah, you got yourself a fucking party, nerds or no. Now, I really enjoyed myself. I liked everyone I met, everyone was very nice and funny, and I really had a good time. But at this point, I have to start looking around, and I begin to wonder. What life decisions have we made collectively to put us in this place? I, a 23-year-old design student who can talk to fucking anybody on this planet, but normally only has about $20 to my name, versus these people who are generally in their 30s and 40s, who are worth 6 fucking figures and can't even talk to the people that they see every fucking day. I just found that highly interesting. I don't know. Priorities, I guess. Then we started dancing, and I gotta be honest, I don't really remember the rest. Hey everybody! I know you're used to seeing me drawn, and so you're gonna have to deal with my live face right now, because I have to give a shout out to my maybe one and only fan, and that's Matt Lowell. And he's really cool, really nice guy. He came up to me and started, not randomly, I mean, he's my friend's boyfriend, so it's not like he's just some random homeless guy. But anyway, he came up to me and paid me some very nice compliments for the last video I made, so I decided that he should be rewarded. And Matt, I drew you, that's you, right there, and that's a trident, maybe Poseidon's, and this is your seahorse steed. He's got an eye patch. Yeah, pretty epic. But anyway, so yeah, there you go, Matt. I hope you like that, and anybody else, if you watch and comment, maybe I'll give you a treat too.